A very good afternoon and welcome to the Isaac Wilson Stadium, and this is where it's happening. This is a game between Comoros and Kenya. Kenya are the leaders of the group, but they are the ones that are expected to go out and continue where they left off. I'm not alone. I'm with Wilson Mutekede, that is the former technical director at Zimbabwean Football Association and also former coach. Coach, looking at the game today, what is that you expect, especially from the Kenyans?
Yes, thanks, Max. I think the opening game, Kenya against Zambia, I think they showed us how much of a strong squad they are, and in terms of competitiveness, it was not an easy match when we watched it, but they managed to get a very good result. And today we are expecting Kenya to continue from where they left. And Comoros having also lost against Zimbabwe, we are hoping to see a very competitive match.
You're talking about Kenya having done well. Let's see what it means to them, because we can go through this together, looking at Kenya topping the group 3 points. One of the rare situations is not the case in Group A. And Zimbabwe also will be very interesting to see where they continue with that. But Comoros must be worried.
Yeah, indeed, Comoros must be worried, because in that group where there's Kenya and Zambia, they need to make sure they get a good result so that they can keep their hopes alive in the group in terms of qualification to the next round.
And talking about hopes alive, because Zambia is now taking on Kenya, and taking on Zimbabwe later, and that's also an interesting one, because Zimbabwe would like to do what Kenya could be doing in the earlier game.
Yeah, but it's not going to be easy, though. It's not going to be easy for Zimbabwe, because I'm sure Zambia would want to make amends for that false start. So it's going to be quite a game there.
Yeah, quite a game indeed. And these are the players that arrived earlier, and they just came here abuzz and looking at the Kenyans, feeling that this is our chance, you know. But looking at what they did last time, surprised all and sundry by just banging in those 2 quick goals. Indeed,
indeed. I think they made good use of the early stages of the game before Zambia had settled down to get those important 2 goals, and then they defended the whole game by managing the game through possession. I think they are quite abuzz, and they have every reason to feel good.
Talking about feeling good, not feeling good for the Comoros, what is that area that you think they just not happening?
Yeah, I think Comoros, if you check against Zimbabwe, Comoros lost it in the second half. So I'm hoping today they will improve in terms of application in the second half. The physicality that is necessary in terms of competing and keeping up the game momentum at that level. So if they can do well, try and get a goal maybe, and then hope to improve in terms of fitness levels to match the Kenyans, I think they might get something, but it's not going to be easy.
Well, not going to be easy, and the coaches are the ones that showed or shared with us what can be expected. Coach, I'm sure you can't complain, but you can only improve 2 goals, and only 2 in the tournament. But a win today is also imperative.
I think we thank God for the 2 goals, because looking at the other groups, I think we are the only team which managed to score 2 goals, which is commendable. And then coming into today's game, I think if we can get another 2 or more goals, we'll be home and dry. So our aim is to get more goals today, and then the last game at least try something different.
Psychological edge on the players. How did you now getting them to say, calm down, it's not over, stay focused?
I think after another game, after a game is before another game. So that is, we had to talk to these players, you know, most of them are young. And then we had to tell them this is the beginning, because this is the first time this team we are playing together. And I believe after our lengthy talk, these boys are ready to face Comoros today.
Talking about Comoros, you saw them last time. Yes, they didn't play well, but you don't take them for granted. What is the area that you think you could capitalize on?
I think Comoros are looking at their style of play. They are so aggressive most of the time, and then I think they're not fast. So I think if we are a bit faster, then we'll get them on the counter, and then we'll be home and dry.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Welcome.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Coach, you're up against a side that scored 2 goals, and I'm sure they're buoyed by that. How are you going to stop them? What is the plan?
Donc vous allez jouer contre une équipe qui a inscrit 2 buts sur le premier match. Comment est-ce que vous comptez aborder cette rencontre et comment est-ce que vous comptez les arrêter aujourd'hui?
On va essayer d'aborder ce match le mieux possible. On a vu que Kenya a marqué les buts rapidement. Et voilà quoi. Mais après, une fois que les Zambies sont mis en place, ils ont commencé à jouer, ils ont bien de difficultés. Il faut faire attention de ne pas prendre un but en début de match, c'est ça le plus important.
Okay, so we'll be very cautious today because we saw that Kenya scored a goal very fast in their first game. So we will, and then later they were a little bit more difficult to play. So today we will try to avoid conceding first goal rapidly, and we'll see later what may happen.
What were you working on in particular in this preparation, given the fact that at least you had a day or two to just make up for what could have gone wrong last time?
Donc vous avez eu 2 jours pour revenir un peu sur la défaite inaugurale. Qu'est-ce que vous avez ciblé quelle partie pour mieux aborder cette rencontre aujourd'hui?
On a regardé ce qui a marché pour le match contre Zimbabwe. Après on a regardé ce qui n'a pas marché aussi, on a fait beaucoup de vidéos. Et bon, quand vous avez 2 jours pour travailler, c'est comme ça, il y a beaucoup de vidéos et après des mises en place tactiques et essayer de faire des stratégies pour essayer de perturber l'adversaire.
Okay, so we did a lot of match analysis. We had two days off, so we focused on match analysis, and we also made some conclusion after the first match, what we need to do and what we need to improve as well. We know that today it will be a tough game, but it will be. I have worked on some tactical strategies, and we will see what it gives today.
After registering the biggest win of the 2024 Hollywood Best COSAFA Cup against the defending champions, invitees from Kenya, or from East Africa, that being Kenya, take on a Comoros in need of points in the second round of Group B matches at the Isaac Wilson Stadium. Wazakele Epai, a good day it is to you, as the youngsters that are on show here still await the first goal scored in this year's COSAFA Cup at this venue. This is the second day we've come to this venue, and well, they have reason to believe there should be goals in
welcome the national teams of Kenya.
The 2 matches that will be played here today. Reason for that being the group is the highest scoring group of the tournament thus far. Kenya and Comoros lined up. Time now for the national anthems.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Kenya. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Comoros.
Yama!
Well, they look pumped up ahead of what is a crucial encounter here for the Comoros as well as Kenya. Comoros in your picture, knowing they come into this game third in Group B, ahead of the Zambians, the defending champions, mind you, but giving a good account of themselves in their loss to Zimbabwe, and will look to find their best foot going forward here against what looks a tough Kenyan side. Well, if they're showing against the defending champions Zambia has anything to go by, they are a side to be taken very seriously. Kennedy Otieno's side here. So, just one change here with Ochoga coming into the left-back position. Keep an eye out for Otieno, goal scorer against the Zambians, as well as Patrick Otieno, who also scored an impressive second. Out in the attack, they keep Ochieng as the sharp end of the attack, and they will have Omondi, of course, operating between the sticks in the heart of defense. Ahono as well as Wanjala will be crucial in keeping things nice and tight and trying to ensure that Kenya maintain their goalless run so far in this tournament. Well, big, strong, physical with the Kenyans in the match against the Zambians. They impressed in that regard here, and the officials may very well have some work in their hands. Godfrey Gagananga from Malawi, the man in charge of this fixture, assisted by Stanislao Prata. Second assistant referee is Alex Lumponjani from Namibia. Fourth official is Elton Camelino from Angola. From an appreciating point of view, they've very much been on the money, but the officials here, not much talk of them in the matches gone by here. So for the Comoros here, led by Ahamada Jambe, they'll be looking for a good showing. 3 changes to their starting lineup. Tarek coming into the left back position, Sane in midfield, as well as Mudafar, the men that come into the starting 11 here. They will look to the creativity of Georgia, their captain, who was impressive on the first day, as well as Kasim. They will look to Jambai out in the attack. It's about putting their best foot forward here for the Comoros and trying to ensure they firstly score goals and secondly walk away with 3 points, and an impressive 3 points it will be if they can get the win over Kenya. Kennedy Otieno, well, happy with the start his side has made here. Ahmad Jambe wasn't necessarily happy at the end of the loss to Zimbabwe, and well, we'll hope his side firstly can stand up to the Kenyans physically here and tactically, till they have what it takes to break down a side that really looked impressive against the defending champions, not only on the front foot but also looked impressive in as far as being organized and also being able to win the individual duels. Hassan, it is in your picture. Plays his club football out in Djibouti. The Comoros will be battling with the likes of John Ochieng here, who plays his club football out in Zambia. So he would have been familiar with the Zambians in that opening day for the Kenyans. It is they that kept this match underway, attacking the goal to the left of your picture. Early ball forward here from, I know there's movement out on the far side, and in the end it's a throw-in right next to the corner flag for the Kenyans. Then have been here and done it before, have Kenya, in as far as partaking in the Hollywood COSAFA Cup. were invitees on one other occasion where they did win one match. They've now notched up 2 matches in the way of wins over 2 tournaments, looking for a 3rd win as they come here as invitees once again. Now Comoros with a chance at the counter-attack. Needed a much better ball than Achin. Under pressure in the middle of the park. Nice touch to try and keep it moving. All happening rather quickly in the middle of the park as Otieno goes back to Achoga. They settle it here, is slowing it down to the Kenyans. Goals have been something, well, a few have been crying out for in this year's tournament. 8 matches played coming into today's action. That's the 7 goals scored. So that's the group that promises goals as Austin Atieno is fouled in. Hansani with the challenge from behind. Little nudge in the back. Did look aside that can also compete physically. The men from Comoros, and they lost to Zimbabwe. Tell you what, they still looked a good side to the Comoros, even in the losing effort against Zimbabwe. It was a much improved second half performance that saw Zimbabwe take the upper hand in that match. In the first half, they really did compete well against the second most successful nation in the tournament. So they're not to be taken lightly here, even by the visitors in the way of Kenya. Men from the east have made their travels here to try and rule the south, way behind enemy lines. Really a contest run then in the middle of the park from both these sides in trying to get the upper hand. A bit of space here for Atieno, looking for the shot from range. First shot in anger. Plays for Goma here. Scored the first goal from the penalty spot for the Zambians. It's turned out to be the quickest goal in the tournament thus far. Zimati, who plays his club football out in France, with the long goal kick forward towards that left side. Trying to get in behind the Kenyan defense then. It's good work by Ahano in dealing with the initial danger from Comoros. Again, challenges flying in. Ochieng, the victim then of another biting challenge. It's a man who plays for from 04 Vulcan Club, Nimudin Asani. That's overcommitted here. Achoga. The pressure applied, and in the end, that's good reading of the game. Very well positioned was Anzimati to encourage the touchback then from Karim. It's lacking in power. Important that Anzimati was right next to him then to be able to collect quickly. Tagging on the shirt, play allowed to continue. As Patrick Otieno picks up here on the near side. Touch from Atieno. Ahano. Bit of space here on this near side to try and exploit, I should say, for Comoros as they drive into the box. The shot isn't a bad one. First shot in anger from Haji Kasim, and well, the head of Mundi worried as he dove to his right then. Happy to see that go wide of the mark.
Happy indeed, Sizwe, as we see that pressure and just making sure that the keeper felt I've got this one covered.
Well, some encouragement here for Comoros, who've won it back in the good area. Wasteful with that last shot with options then around the box as well. Decision making not at its very best then from Alfonsi Aslane. do have men out on this field that do play parts of football in parts of the world that a few may not be very familiar with. We'll touch on that as the game wears on. For the time being, Otieno battling against Zamir, gets the better of him. Needed a bit of support quicker than Otieno getting there. In the end, it's a hopeful ball forward from Omar. No threat whatsoever to Comoros.
I admired that skill from Patrick Otieno. Lovely, bringing it, pulling it with the right foot and nicking it between the legs with the left foot. Was just unfortunate that his final pass to the teammate got short.
Well, they registered the second win in the COSAFA Cup, having last won in the COSAFA Cup. Last time they were invitees back in 2013 when they beat Eswatini with a 2-0 scoreline. Well, the cross then is easy for Nzimati to pick up. Navatsa was the man who got a couple of goals for the Kenyans out in Kitwe in 2013. They are through with Lesotho 2-2 in the tournament. Kiongara and Atudo were the scorers in that 2-2 draw. Ended the tournament with the loss to Botswana with a 2-1 scoreline. But Engile was the scorer in that day.
I loved it when I realized that Kenya have been invited before and they accepted the invitation. So is the case now.
Yeah. They also have not just rocked up, but they've rocked up and added value so far with the way they've competed, giving us a lot to talk about and think about with the way they handled the defending champions and most successful nation in the history of the COSAFA Cup. Outstanding here. Fouled, late arrival for Crispin Otieno.
Coach of Comoros spoke about how positive they are. They now getting better. They settled, and you can see that from this opening minutes. More positive signs.
Yep, they certainly did give a good account of themselves in the loss to Zimbabwe, and while in the World Cup qualifiers again, they've been very impressive in the opening 4 matches of those qualifiers. So a nation not to be taken lightly, as the pass in search of Georgia goes just over his head, rolling kindly for Omondi. Karim.
I'm still looking back, Sizwe, at that opportunity. Well, you call it half a chance, but those are the ones that can be scored. The one to Afani. I hope I can see that again. He wanted to strap it as it comes over the head. We spoke about that yesterday. Balls played over the head. And he wanted to stop it. He should have focused on trying to just nip it over the keeper, because those are the ones that the keeper already had left his line. There's no ways that he can recover.
No, chance for shots. And it's Georgia, amongst the most impressive players in the opening match. The man wearing the captain's armband. Only had one thought in mind then, missing by some distance. Now this group of players from Comoros will be looking to emulate what's only been done on one occasion, as the foul comes in here, and it's a man who needs to be careful. Haslane gave away a foul early on in the day here and will be going into the referee's book. In the very early exchanges, he got a warning, and now he gets his final warning. And a yellow card. Plays for Arta Sola out in Djibouti. Late with a challenge on Crispin Otieno. A few of the Kenyan players were far from happy with that challenge. Neither was the match referee from Malawi.
It's a challenge you could have avoided. Right on the halfway line. Didn't need to even get a yellow for that.
Even the first challenge he gave away in the opening exchanges was round about the same place in the field, unnecessary, considering how early it was and the intensity at which he delivered the challenge. Now, Patrick Otieno. Interesting listening to the Kenyan coach, Marks, when you spoke to him before the game got underway, Kennedy Otieno. As the Kenyans now give away a set piece. He did mention that the men from Comoros also looked physical against the Zimbabweans, whilst they were strong against Zambia themselves here. It makes for what could be a very physical game. Another yellow card, this time it's Ochoga.
Isn't it common, like a stubborn person saying to another guy, you are stubborn? So you are hard, but you are hard yourself.
Haji Kasim, the man who had the early opportunity and best opportunity for Comoros so far, getting the set piece. He's fine, able to continue with the game as he looks to take up an attacking position. Won't be amongst those standing over the ball. Doja is. Just a two-man wall. Uday Far, the other man standing over it. Doja now amongst those standing inside the box, hoping to capitalize off of a good ball here. Uday Far, going for goal! Keeper had it covered. Was wise enough to allow it to fly over. Didn't fly over by much, but good judgment by Nomondi.
I don't know if it was a good idea to go for it, because once you go for it like that, it will always be rising. I saw a gap there in line with the ball outside the poles. If you use that as your target and bend it in that area, then you get all your teammates flying for it. That to me was a sport.
Well, encouraging enough start here inside the opening 13. The side with the 2 shots in anger is the Comoros. So, proving to be a team not to be slept on here by the Kenyans. No, the Zambians who still have to play against them in the last round of matches in the group. Keep in mind, later on today we've got arguably a game good enough to be a final in the 2 most successful nations in the history of the Hollywood-based COSAFA Cup.
And not only that, they are rivals, they are neighbors. So there's a lot at stake.
Expecting a very good game of football there, and a fair bit of drama and goals as well, as Zimbabwe and Zambia square off. Zimbabwe back with a bang with their win over Comoros. Zambia, well, they need the win following their defeat to Kenya in the opening game. They are to secure top spot. They need to walk away with 3 points in that match, so makes it all the more exciting with so much at stake already.
And the crowds expected after church, they'll all be here, the Zambians and the Zimbabweans.
Kenya a little frustrated here. They thought they should get the corner. Patrick Otieno battling against Mohamed Zamir here on the near side. Only in 2019. That's the only year where Comoros got out of the group stages. They went as far as the quarterfinals in that year. So this group looking to make a bit of history by being the second generation of Comoros players to get out of the group stages in the Hollywood-based COSAFA Cup. They're getting good moments in good areas as well. Another set piece, Doja involved out on that far side. Brought down by Wanjala. He plays his club football out in Spain, does Wanjala. Six push forward here for the men in whites. Lofton and dealt with and protecting the near posts from the Kenyans. Doing a good job of winning the ball back inside the opposition half of the field here, not allowing the Kenyans to establish a rhythm. In the early past, 15 minutes gone by here, and it may be safe to say that 15 minutes belongs to Comoros with the way they've gone about business.
They really had a good start, good opening 15 minutes, and I just also like the way Omidje just shielded that ball and just making sure that his keeper is covered.
Now, far post here, Patrick Otieno will keep this alive, looking to hang it up towards the far post. Otieno now, and again, Comoros just about able to deal with it. Pressure still on. Now, foul against the Kenyans in what I believe was a clash of heads. Well, Karim went to ground and gave quite a scream that may have worried Ahmad Chambe.
Coach Jambe must be worried and thinking, have I got to make an early change, forced change? It won't be the case. It's one of those things that happens in this game, contact sport, clash of heads.
So how is that a foul though? They're both competing fairly for the ball.
I don't know why he gave it against Kenya.
Maybe because it's a head injury, you have to stop the game. But then, it's definitely a foul for the Kenyans, I do believe.
But they both went at the same time. Unless if he bounces the ball in the area, yes. And then maybe you say, no, but they will compete. No, there's no competition. You always give it to the side that is attacking.
Middle of the park here, the 10 men of Comoros now. Well, I look to just keep things nice and steady here. Well, so they wait for Karim to be allowed back onto the field.
He'll be joining us soon. He's running all the way back to the halfway line.
Yeah, he's back in outside of your picture. 1 yellow card apiece, 4 fouls apiece. It's physical here in the early stages here. Good competitive game of football. Again, talk about lovely work defending here on this near side to deny Patrick Otieno's attempt to get a cross in. Chen doing all he might to try and keep it alive on the far side. Wasn't to be. Good confident call of keeper from Omondi.
I carefully looked at the warm-ups of both teams, in particular Kenya, because they were nearest to us. And from halfway line, they were knocking the ball to the guys on the goal line. And those long balls, and I'm thinking, oh, so it's how to stop those long balls. Can we get the ball on the ground, you know?
Yeah.
So, well, you see all these long balls, you must know it's part of bypassing the midfield, because they were doing that. Like the defenders were here and whipping them up to the strikers for the first touch.
Well, looking at both sides here from our commentary position, it looks as though the Kenyans hold the advantage in the height department here. So there could be a tactic where they are looking to go long, should they not be able to break them down in open play and through the departments where they pass him. Tell you what, if there is to be an advantage for the Kenyans, it's a slight one. Comoros do have a good number of players that are tall and have a presence as well, so physically it's an interesting battle between these two sides.
See, that's one of the long balls I was talking about, because then there was somebody in the midfield, or someone should drop short, get it off him, and then change direction. But it's just like one-dimensional. I want to play there into space.
Yeah. Coming to this match now, having lost 3 in a row in the COSAFA Cup to Comoros. They lost, of course, to Zimbabwe in the opening day, lost to Malawi in Durban last year, and Zambia. Those the 3 matches they've lost in a row. You'd have to go back to the encounter against Seychelles 4 matches ago for their last win, a 3-0 win. Jambai, Yusuf, and Bakar were the scorers in that match. Kasim did well to keep it moving in the middle of the park. Comoros now with numbers trying to get into that box. That cross coming in early, but not quite. Angled well enough to find the movement of Jabbar, who was the most central of the players. Well, Comoros with more of the ball here than the Kenyans. Not too much more, but more of the ball. They've also spent the bulk of the time, more time maybe I should say, in the opposition half of the field. If you are just joining us after 20 minutes, played the better football, had the better chances.
Not only that, defensively they also organized, because they've got that wall in front of them. These are the long balls that I was referring to, so the guy must give it a good first touch. So they did that for what, 5-10 minutes before they resort to something different.
Good goalkeeper here, Anzimati. When they've needed him to come off that line and come and deal with things on the edge of the box, which is on 2 or 3 occasions now, he's been superb at it. Will be kept alive here on this near side as Comoros drive forward once again. Kasim not getting it all his own way here on this near side. Working hard and trying to slow down the Kenyans. Was Samir with the challenge. Here's another one of those diagonal balls to that far side. Great ball, lovely touch. And they keep their structure quickly to Comoros then. Even with that diagonal ball, they are so quick to keep that structure that it's not easy for the Kenyans to find the forward pass. Now, corner, good pressure applied out on that far side by John Chien, giving little to no options for the Tarek then to concede the corner. Had to be decisive. Six in the box here. Well, there's a player struggling inside the Comoros box. One of the men in white is moving on to comfortably here. We'll be able to continue with the game. Right back, Zamir, who plays for Vulcan Club. Otuoga under pressure. Well, they are competing extremely well. The men from Comoros now pull over the top here. Lively back heel. It's a great chance. Oh, it deserved more. It was brilliant the way that was set up for the shot. And arriving and looking good for his tournament opener then was Benza Ochieng. How's this touch? Brilliant. Brilliantly done.
Oh, in fact, Austin Otieno, he just backheeled it so neatly, and that's Ochieng. Benson Ochieng, when he got there, he opened the foot. Idea was brilliant. He just couldn't put it in that in the back of the net. But he opened the foot, and it went slightly wide. Brilliant football. That's what we're talking about, not long things. That's him again.
Defending then is Karim. Pressure on Tarek. do himself any favors with that initial first touch. He will get the decision though with the throw-in. Ochieng not quite in agreement with the fight-side official. He thought that should be a Kenyan ball. So hands down, best chance of the game has gone the way of the Kenyans. Their first real chance coming after 25 minutes. Still, Comoros with 2 good chances of their own. Stomping down then with the challenge was John Ochieng.
Best chance of the game so far. So it shows you that if you knock the ball around, leave it there, get someone to run onto it, it becomes a different ball game and it opens the chances more than the long ones. These long ones don't work.
Having to be strong is Ochieng. Physically, it's a test here. It was pretty similar for the Zimbabweans when they played against Comoros. Needed to be up for it physically, and for the Zambians when they played against the Kenyans. Pace needed on the far side is the defender that comes out tops then. That being Omija. Plays for Dofar. He plays his tough football out in Oman, in East Asia. There's Omija. Patrick Otieno. Crispin Otieno. Good touch, good ball as well. Shaking things up. On that far side is Ochieng. Now, works it back here to Crispin Otieno. Good movements, and in the end, the defensive effort from Mohamed Karim was absolutely crucial. With the run from Omija, then getting to the byline and looking to open up that Comoros defense.
I'm sure you've noticed my smile, Sizwe. I'm starting to smile because they're knocking the ball around. I mean, they're looking better. And if Comoros can just resort to that too.
Ooh, that was somewhat uncomfortable, almost right on the goal line. Then he had to scoop that out from under him almost, did Anzimati. Fortunately, it also went to a teammate here. They could concede the corner.
What an awkward bounce for the keeper.
Near post flick on, and needed then for a save, Anzimati. Ends up in the net. Caught in the spider web, you could almost say.
Now, this is their moment. The Kenyans must pressurize and score from this.
Header! Oh, down into the ground, but it was too acute, the angle, so in the end, it came straight up comfortably in a height at Anzimati. Good spell this for the Kenyans. Good save that from Anzimati. Well, they're turning the screws now in pressure. Kenya, a lot of joy coming from that far side with Ochieng. Another set piece. First 23-24 minutes belonging to Comoros, but since then one has to be fair in saying the Kenyans seem to have rediscovered their groove here, causing discomfort, and Anzimati, who suddenly has been a busy man over the last 5 minutes, needing a moment here. Plays his tough football with Quevili Rouen Metropole out in France.
Doesn't this remind you of yesterday when the referee went to the goalkeeper and say, I know your trick, if you do this you'll get a yellow card because I'm giving you the last chance to pretend to be injured. That was to James, isn't it?
Victor James of Botswana.
Yeah.
Getting a talking to then when it was felt that he was wasting time. Now, there are some Kenyan fans that have turned out yet. Handful of them.
It's beautiful to see them around.
Yeah.
Sorry, what reminds me of this season is the fact that they are under pressure. Nobody touched the keeper, then he goes down.
Yeah.
So it reminded me of the incident yesterday, that could have been tactical.
encouraging turnout here in the early stages. It always increases in numbers, the support we get at these games by the second game, but there are a good few supporters at, now on that far grandstand and on the grandstand to the right of your picture from the angle at which we're showing you the game. Kenya now with 5 goal attempts to the 2 we saw from Comoros early in the day. They had 5 quick ones. Got the set piece. Half an hour's play gone here at the Isaac Wolfson Stadium.
Otieno was looking for a dip there, and it just didn't dip enough for him. He's such a quality player, though.
Certainly is. Played a few good players on either side that have started this match. Kasim, from a Comoros point of view, out wide on this right side, he had a good opening 20. Seeing more and more now of Patrick Otieno wearing the number 14 for the Kenyans. Ochieng's been great out of that far side, especially with receiving those diagonal balls on the move, being watched closely by Zamir.
I meant the other Otieno, Austin.
Yeah. No, I get you.
With Kenya now, you always have to specify which Otieno, because we've got about 3 Otienos and Atienos on the field. Very interesting.
Couple of Otienos, couple of Ochiengs. There's also an Atieno.
And the coach himself, Otieno.
Yeah.
Doesn't this remind you of the Laminis?
Mm-hmm. Now, communication needed to be spot on. It wasn't. Is that a penalty? Yes, sir. Well, they didn't get their communication right. A bit of confusion, a bit of doubt from Ochuoga, who's already on a yellow card, mind you, and trouble for the Kenyans. Now, is there going to be action against Ochuoga? He knows.
He knows.
He knows.
He's already put in the jersey over his head, covering himself with shame, because that's when the referee went for, he checked the number, and he went for the left pocket, which had a red card. But how's that for sloppiness? When you're not under pressure at all, and then you get exposed.
At the moment of doubt between me and Omondi, and I think Omondi's trying to communicate to him something, don't know what he's saying, but that indecision, split second, allowed the opponent to take the ball away, and in desperation picks up his second yellow, committing the foul.
In their first game, they opened up with a penalty. So in this case, it's the other way around.
The 10 men of Kenya will worry about that after they hope Omondi can deny Afane from the spot. Comoros hoping the man in your picture gets them their first goal of the 2024 Hollywood Place COSAFA Cup. It's been a great game of football up until this point. Fane! Easy does it. The man from Jabal FC puts the 11 of Comoros into the lead here. And for Kenya, not only do they concede, they lose the man here who's picked up a yellow card and are down to 10. If you believe, Mafa, and this Comoros crew started the game like a bunch of men that believed they could take the game to Kenya. Yes, Kenya started to fight back over the last 5 to 10 minutes, but that positivity has been rewarded, and it's Afane Chabai bangs one home here and opening the scoring.
He took it well, but look at that. That was just not necessary. And that is the time when Ochiago just thinking, oh, keeper should have come out for this. So Ochiago just got that red card, unnecessary red card. Took it well, though. Right in the middle. If you're not sure, play it hard through the middle.
Omondi going the wrong way. Now, they made just one change to the starting 11 at the Kenyans. In fact, it's Ochuoga that had come into the starting 11 following the opening game against Zambia. It's Ochuoga that picks up 2 yellow cards here inside 35 minutes. And Kenya, it's a Sunday, have a bit of a mountain to climb here. Foul on the far side. It'll be interesting to see the response from a Kenyan point of view here for Comoros. Doing the right thing, pushing on, looking to ride the wave here.
This is where keep your eyes on the number 7, Jauja. Every time when the balls are playing long, his first touch is unbelievable. And when it's one of those aerial balls, he doesn't go with the defender. He waits and then comes late and always wins them. I think his tactics are very good when it comes to balls played down.
They're appealing for a penalty again here, and it was a hearty appeal from the men from Comoros. Referee wasn't interested.
Rightfully so, because that ball comes from the head to the hand.
Yeah. So, firstly, we'll have a look at how the Kenyans will line up. They did have 4 at the back, and as things stand, it looks as though they will continue in that regard. Or is it 3 at the back now? Keep a close eye on the shape, and I'll come back to you in that regard. Just suspect that Ochieng will drop a little further back to play as a wing-back. The captain on the ball right now. He was one of the front-line players who was getting a lot of those diagonal balls behind that defense on that far side on the left side. Looks for the time being as though he is operating in the right-back position in the absence of Ochoga. In fact, Omija has moved to the left-back position and Ochieng moved to the right-back position. That's how they are now shaping up. Omija was the right-back, who's now at left-back. And the captain, Ochieng, was operating as the right-sided forward, has dropped to the right-sided defender.
They sacrificed one midfielder to keep the back 4 and then left 1 man up front. In this case, they left Ochieng, that's Benson.
So it's a 4. It looks 4-3-2 formation. Here is Ochieng now operating as the right back, the captain, who's also having such a good job and good game as the outlet out on that far side. Maybe missed in that regard. The new left back, Omija, getting a touch in his new position. Now, we spoke about the physicality of both these sides in the early stages, early exchanges. There was a yellow card for either side. There were a number of challenges that were hard on either side. It's no surprise then, is it, Mafa, to see someone picking up 2 yellow cards, especially with the way these sides have been competing for the ball?
Well, not surprising, but I'm glad it wasn't from malicious tackle or intention to break a leg.
Ugly.
It was nothing ugly. It was just trying to make up for bad judgment.
And also, good piece of hustle from Kasim to win it back and apply the pressure. There you have it. As the yellows, as the ball is played in and the shot comes in. Should have been better. Lovely cut back then and arriving unchecked as Crispin Otieno should have at the very least put a save out of Anzimati. Good hustle, lovely hustle then from Omija. That's a good chance.
It's a good chance, but Kasim tried to shield the ball And as he was trying to look at the opponent, he poked the ball on the path of the opponent coming from behind.
Well, that'll be something encouraging for the 10 men of Kenya here. Patrick Otieno. They do work hard, though. Run hard to the Kenyans. Last 5 minutes of an exciting first half. Good contest, yeah, if you are just joining us. Very good contest. Problems for Abdul Omar.
Kenya is a goal down. Austin Otieno is desperate. He says, no, take him out. He says, no, wait for the stretcher. They want to take him out himself. Carry him off the field.
So 10 on the field for the time being for Comoros, to go with the 10 on the field for Kenya after one of theirs is sent off. Georgia not in agreement with the near side official then, and as far as that decision, Stanislav Prata, the man from Angola, giving the throw into the Kenyans. Now, Georgia driving forward here, one-on-one with the defender. Look for the early shot, good block by Omija to protect Omonde. Patrick Otieno continues to move here on this near side. He is pacey as he looks for the byline, and that's good work from Abdullah Omar and keeping up with him, conceding the corner. They are still a threat, the Kenyans, even with a man less on the field. It's another good duel between the players here on this near side. They certainly have had a good go at one another, those two. Kenya to keep the pressure on. Atieno drilling it in towards the far post, and so close. Anzimati happy to smother that. Ochieng being a threat to the far post. Nicely done here by Atieno. Drilled it low and hard, should have done better, Ochieng. First time strike, and could have changed the scoreline. In fact, he was going for the first time strike, he just didn't connect with it well enough. Defender didn't expect that at all. It came as a surprise, didn't react quickly enough. Kenya now had two glorious opportunities since going a man down to find an equalizer. Men getting stuck in with Ahano. Doing well defensively. Georgia unable to turn in, but it's still the men in white that are knocking on that door. Once again, Ahano gets distance on the clearance. Seconds remaining in the first 45. Two minutes will be added on. Definitely offside. Now, for a few, maybe just tuning in here, they'll, I think it's safe to say, be surprised at the Comoros leading Kenya here. And yes, they've been that good, Comoros, deserving of the lead here. Whilst the Kenyans haven't been bad themselves, they've had chances to score, very good ones, haven't taken advantage of them. Good game here between these two sides, very good game here, both giving as good as they're getting. Chance to go into the change room and for the 10 men to regroup. The Kennedy Otieno, the Kenyan coach for Comoros here, vital for them that the next goal scored in this match is theirs. Whether it comes at the end of this half or after the restart of the game, they'll want to be the next to score. Crucial in getting that 2-goal cushion. So far, this group full of surprises. Somewhat shocked when Kenya got the better of Zambia. And surprised here at the Comoros. Have had the start they've had here against the Kenyans. Godfrey Ganganaga bringing the first half to an end here. Red card for Paul Ochuoga. The only change to the starting 11 from the first match for the Kenyans, and well, from the penalty spot then it was Afane who found the back of the net for Comoros, and Comoros had created good moments and a chance or two to score in the early stages of the game, just when it seemed as though the Kenyans were finding their momentum. Beyond the 25th minute, the Comoros struck. So 10 men on the field here for the Kenyans have to, well, come up with a plan to break down the men in white who've been very competitive and committed to the cause and are once again giving a very good account of themselves. Good game of football, great game of football, yeah, good quality in Group B. And at halftime, it's Kenya 0, Comoros 1. Well, Comoros with much fewer goal attempts than the Kenyans. There's some good moments, including more of the ball here for Kenya. They look at those moments and the shots on target and feel, yep, they should have done better. Some of the moments were great chances for the Kenyans, and they went wide of the mark with them. So they will certainly be hoping to improve. And the important thing for the Kenyans is, even after having gone at a man down, they continue to create 2 or so chances, and I'm talking clear-cut chances against the Comoros. So there'll be all the reason in the world that they can come out here and still create chances and possibly score against the Comoros. What will be crucial is the next goal here. Bookings. We'll see 2 going towards Ochuoga from a Kenyan point of view. Just the one for Comoros, and that's Aslani, who picked up a yellow card and needs to tread carefully going into the second half. Well, Max, let's get your breakdown here at halftime.
Yeah, very interesting breakdown indeed, Sizwe, and you just show that it shows that the Kenyans are just surprised by the Comoros, but the Comoros is a side that surprised us too.
Yes, sure. I think today Comoros turned up, and right from the first whistle we saw the commitment. They're really playing a men's game, quite physical. I think they're fully aware of the Kenyan strength, and they're trying to thwart them out.
Wilson, let's break it down from the onset. Didn't the Comoros team look more hungry, look like they've got something to prove?
Indeed, they really looked hungry, and right from the first whistle we saw number 8 Haji, who was playing on the right, really having forays into the Kenyan defending third, and they really showed how much they wanted it.
I like the captain too, the way he fights for every ball.
Exactly.
And his first touch is bringing the team together closer to him.
True, the number 7, the captain on the left, and linking up with Afane, their top striker, doing very, very well in terms of really pressurizing the Kenyans.
But then the chances, the way chances missed, I'm sure we'll be able to look at that. And when we talk about the opportunity that Otieno gave, and it wasn't to be with Ochieng to just put the ball in the back of the net.
Yes, I thought so. I think adaptation is also very, very important. I think what we saw at Nelson Mandela Bay, obviously there's a slight change in terms of the playing, the pitches, and then the team that adapts quicker are then going to get the better share.
One thing that I've observed, and I'm sure you have as different sentiments, when Kenya started, they were playing long balls, just as they were doing when they were homing up.
Yes.
But suddenly their game changed and they created more opportunities when they started knocking the ball around.
Exactly. When they started knocking around, then the opportunities came out. In fact, when they went one man down, we saw 2 good chances. One from the left that was hit off target. And it was surprising that that chance came when they were one man down. And when they were equal in terms of numbers, we didn't see that kind of a clear-cut chance being created.
One man down, what do you do in the second half? Trying to also keep tabs with what's happening.
It's also now a matter of the mental strength. Are they for it in terms of fighting through? Also, Comoros, are they going to hold on in terms of trying to make sure that they keep pushing, or they're going to be complacent to say we are one man up?
Talking about making sure, this wasn't a make sure situation when the penalty was conceded. What was that miscommunication? This is that moment where the defender just didn't know what to do there. Thought the goalkeeper will come closer. Goalkeeper didn't know. Thought the defender will clear it out. Only to find that is the second yellow card.
Exactly. Yeah, and the young man who got the send-off there was playing very good diagonal balls to the right to the Kenyan captain. And now they are one-man short. They have to make necessary adjustment in terms of flexibility in tactics so that they can then try and cope. But look, that was a miscommunication. You could have pushed it out or cleared it early or played to the goalkeeper early. So I think he was caught in between.
In fact, Ashweng there should have known where he is, because we always talk about sense of presence.
Yes,
you must know that you are closer to your keeper, play the ball back, and then he paid the price there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Afani took it well.
Very, very well. Very, very well.
And this is the moment where I always say, if you're not sure, play
Meant business in the way they approached this game and took it to the Kenyans, and well, Zambia and Zimbabwe watching on. They may be a little surprised at the way things have fared, considering the Kenyans at the beating of Zimbabwe in the opening day. For Comoros in your picture, they lost out to Zimbabwe, Kenya beating Zambia, I should say, and even in that loss to Zimbabwe, Karim in your picture and his teammates gave a very good account of themselves, and Zimbabwe came good in the second half of that encounter after Comoros were problematic in the first. So Kenya now with 10 men on the field would have had a chance to have a look at things and see if they can move them around here. They had moved Omija to the left back position at the start or end of the first half, then to make up for the left back having been sent off. That meant Ochieng dropping back into a right back position. As things start here at the early exchanges of the second, I can tell you Ochieng now is playing in the center of midfield, so we'll just look at things to see how they've shuffled them around. It looks as though Ronnie Onyango has dropped into the right back position. What is important from a Kenyan point of view in looking for positivity is that after having gone a man down, they did create two clear-cut chances. Impressive chances then where they should have scored. Chieng missing out on one and Crispin Otieno missing out on the other. Picking up here is Tarek to Karim. Omar. Pressure being applied right from the front end, and it's a very competitive game already that has turned physical at times. You saw the fighting challenge out on the left back, that being Onyango. Maybe looking to take advantage of him operating in a position he may not be too familiar with. At left back. Space here and some time to look down the line towards Mudafar. Floating to Asane under a bit of pressure, still unable to keep it moving down the line here as Mudafar. So far on the field, of all the players remaining on the field, just one on the yellow card, that being Mfonzi Asane. He himself had received a final warning, so needs to tread carefully here in this second half. Joja. Amandi of Bandari FC on the ball now, the man between the sticks. Now, Kenya guilty of giving it away in what looks a dangerous position here. As Asane keeps it moving wide towards that far side, driving forward then. Looking to cause problems is Haji Kasim. Had some good moments, did Kasim, in the first half. It was he that won the penalty for Comoros, closing down right from the front. Also the charted goal that went narrowly wide of Amandi's right post. Now, keeping the pressure on, and wow, Shot was turned into a lovely pass, leads to a beautiful second for Comoros. Composed was Afane as he bags his brace and becomes the tournament top goal scorer with his second of the day.
He took it well, took advantage of the range where he was, and he fancied his chance, and didn't he just smash it? They're quite aware now that it's in the back. On a turn, played it, he knew, and he just placed it under the diving body of the keeper. But I was there for defense to not know what was happening. They thought it would be a direct strike.
I believe it was a strike that was miscued and rolled ever so kindly for Afane. He still had plenty to do as he got the better of Omandi, and is the best start to the second half for Comoros, of course.
If you ask him, he'll say, I knew where he was.
I gave them the eyes.
Oh, he's a happy man today. He was complaining about the referee not giving anything to them, but always giving to opposition. But then too, they safe against a one-man down team.
Well, there's still a lot of football to be played here. There's Afane. Well, the important thing for the Kenyans, especially being a man down, would have been to be sure to not make any mistakes defensively, not concede inside the opening 5. That's crucial for 10 or 11 men at the start of any game, any half of football. Especially for the Kenyans here, being a man down, a cold town. But it was a Table Mountain that they had to climb at the end of the first half. Has now turned into Kilimanjaro here at the start of the second. Omandi. Pressure on Omandi as the Kenyans played out from the back here. It's Omar to pick up. Looking for George has done well in, well, receiving what looked a difficult ball. In the end, he was outnumbered by men in green. Wanjala plays for Gymnastic Tarragona, Spain. Atieno looking for Patrick Otieno. Done well to keep it alive here. A couple of players inside the box. The clearance, a good one from Omar. Space to turn here for Crispin Otieno. Comoros quick to win it back here. Look at the head on the counter attack. It's looking good. The movement on that far side, having come out a long way, is Brian Omandi conceding the throw in. And a hurry now to get back to his goal line. Kenya having to work to get it clear, then not getting it all their own way here. It's not as easy as I'd like. Supposed to go route 1. Karim. Just being Otieno. That's done by Omija, and keeping it moving down the line. He's continued his movement then as Kenya look to create the best moment of the second half. Karim having none of it, defending that near post. plays for Le Bay Foot out in France. There's Mohamed Karim wearing the number 5 jersey for Comoros. Doja. And too much on the ball. Amos Panchala. Communication breakdown then. That the run being made, expecting to be played in front of him. Patrick Otieno. Otieno will make way here. The man who plays club football for Zanaco, having his last involvement in this game. It's Omondi that comes on in his place. Stanley Omondi plays for Kariobangi Sharks in Kenya. 10 men, the first to make a change here through the substitution. Crispino Atieno not getting much distance on the clearance. Atieno now under pressure, the victim of a good challenge. It's all happening very quickly in the middle of the park, and again they're forced to go route one on the Kenyans, and giving chase then and forcing the corner is Benson Ochieng. That's good work from the striker then, chasing what looked a lost cause. Well, into the near post, and here's a chance! Oh, it's come off the woodwork. Follow-up chance goes well over. The Kenyans so unlucky on that occasion. It fell for Crispino Otieno, the Tusker FC man. Had time, lines it up, and well, having had the beating of Anzimati, denied by the post.
He did everything. Look at that, he sliced it. So that's why it was going wide, and then it hit the upright. But some of those you slice is in the back of the net. Just unfortunate moment there.
So important for the Kenyan cause if they are to get anything at all out of this match. It's they that score next. They would have come into the second half here hoping to be the side to find the back of the net first. Sharks continue in this group with Comoros then establishing the 2-goal cushion. Well, it's covered a great deal of ground here as Patrick Otieno in moving from the far side towards this near to be the option for the throw-in, winning yet another throw-in further down the line. Wanjala. Wow, error and problems here, big problems. Fortunate was Baron Omondi. Got the ball stuck under his feet, the pressure being applied then very nearly leading to a third goal, or a chance at goal for Comoros. Kenyan coach must be thinking, what's going on? Offers his apologies, and so he should. Now, ball looks fine in love and war until he stumbles on the ball then. And, well, Georgia couldn't quite take advantage, could he? Georgia, good move on the near side. stumbled as he received the ball then quite comically. Now that's a good pass, good option on the near side with the forward run again. The men from the Comoros working extremely hard on the defensive end. With a feed, Georgia looking for the 1-2, broken in behind the defense, transfer, third, showed too much to the defender. Well, they are creating moments, both these nations, suggesting there could be more in the way of goals here. Austin Atieno. Amandi just done, back to Atieno. Ahano. Atieno. Amandi. Ochieng. Wayward with the ball, counter-attack alive and kicking here, pace on the far side. Well, it's looking good this for Comoros. Can they get the third? Unselfish, lost out on the opportunity, then cleared up the line.
Tried to find a teammate, wasn't the case, comes back to him, saw the opportunity, whipped it in and blocked off the line. Two chances, putting the ball in the back of the net, two teammates waiting. Afani, the number 7, and also the big man, number 17, Afani, and Jaja waiting, hoping that it will come their way.
Looking to put this to bed on the 1 hour mark. The men from the Comoros. This will be one of their best displays yet. And what will really be a memorable game of football here. Now they look to be a bit of pulling here on this near side. They certainly were appealing for it, where the men in white didn't go their way. Here they are, nicely done in the middle of the park here. Kenya with 10 men still. Pushing forward here. Oh, that's a good ball. Flag just up. In a hurry is Omonde. Great play out on the right flank. 3 getting into the box here. Got options. Ball in, kept alive. Trying to play it back to Georgia. Then it was important. Onyango got to it first, and he did. Well, that's a hopeful shot from a long way out then from Hastanek. Tieno. Time a serious factor against the Kenyans now. In need of a couple of goals, down a man. And once they push forward, they've been reminded time and again that they can be victims to yet another goal. Looking at the Comoros, just looking at some of their highest scoring matches. But scored 3 goals on one occasion against Angola in a game that ended with a 3-1 scoreline. They beat Seychelles 3-0 in Durban last year. That definitely their highest scoring win. They scored another, they'll match that here against the Kenyans. So, looking to score 3 in consecutive tournaments. also did lose to a number of opponents with a 3-0 scoreline. Namibia, Mozambique. But they have only won 3-0 on one occasion. They've only scored 3 goals twice in the history of the Hollywood Pit COSAFA Cup. Tarek in a spot of bother plays for Etoile de Mirancy. Opening goal from the penalty spot. Also saw Ochoga being sent off. Second goal, a shot come pass. Turns into a good shot, turn goal from Afani. Jojo will be making way here for Comoros. They're putting on a striker, so they are all looking to take advantage of Kenya's desperation in sending men forward. Sadat is the man that will be coming on. Plays in the Comoros locally. There's a Sadat for Fomboni Football Club. Captain making way. Plays East Club football in Namibia for African Stars.
Go for it, play in, go for it.
25 minutes remaining on the clock. Atieno. Now, Kenya doing the defending and quite importantly winning the set piece here. Approaching the last 20. Now, shocks have been the order of the day in this group. First Kenya shocking Zambia, now is Comoros that are shocking things up here and shaking things up as we look at the group stages, or this group rather. Comoros now as things stand on top of the group. Talk about shaking things up. Zimbabwe in action next against Zambia.
Isn't it interesting that we're raving about Kenya after their first display, and we thought after the showing, I'm sure the best is yet to come. Only to find that the Comoros were ahead and they felt we need to bounce back. And we never thought they would bounce back at the expense of Kenya.
No. Just 6 goal attempts to 10 from Kenya. Equal number of fouls here. Aslani, who picked up a yellow card on the midway point of the first half, has done a good job of staying out of trouble. Ahano. Great work defensively. Not giving an inch. Backing all the way then physically. There's Tarek. Come on, still having more of the ball here. Well, it was the case even when Kenya had 10 or 11, I should say, on the field. Oh, shot. Volley on the far post. Well have the mark. The Goma here, defender. Getting back to his defensive position. But Monday, or rather Anzimati, I mean to say, in between the 6 for Comoros will be looking for is a clean sheet here. Love that with the goal scored. Now that's a challenge from behind, went through the man to get to the ball. Very nicely officiated this game by Godfrey Ngangananga, the Malawian. Was very quick to get to the scene of the crime here to ensure tempers don't boil over. Good work, impressive from Atieno. So, 20 minutes remaining on the board here. Taking his time about things now is Anzimati. Won't be in a hurry. In a situation such as this, distribution looking for Mudo far here on the near side. Just overcooked in search of the toilet to Comoros man. Now, having run out to the far side, Comoros certainly looking for their third, still Paul in. Here's a chance. Oh, they didn't get it right then. And a lovely area to finish it off. 20 minutes remaining on the clock. Now the ball this time dealt with, not all too convincingly, so here is Atieno. Well, he's not in the dangerous area. There's good movement on this near side. Here's a chance again! Oh, it's blasted over. Well, what do they have to do to get that third? They'd opened up that Kenyan defense, and Sadat, who's coming up the bench with a lovely chance to get that third.
It was a bit slow getting to Sadat. He had to stride to it. If it was given a bit of an oomph towards him, I'm sure he would have struck it before both defenders stuck their long legs. That was an effort.
Now, Comoros still cutting up that Kenyan defense and only unable to find the killer third blow here. Driving round and the strike. Ooh, that hasn't missed by much. All the way far. Gave that everything he had. The Toyota Comoros man invited him to have the strike, then he hasn't closed down quickly enough and thought, why not? Omondi. Good communication from Anzimati. So the opportunity to come off his line early and was assertive in his call in to let his teammates to allow it to run onto him. Monday. Kenya probing, keeping it central. Well, here they are, knocking on their door, wondering if they had an option to that far side for breakthrough for a side-team goal. Otieno. Sadat. Big striker. Working hard here and winning it back. He's on his back here on this near side, hoping for the return ball. Important test that was from Crispin Otieno and conceding the throw-in and not allowing the flowing movement from Comoros in getting in behind that final third. Foul committed by Amos Wanjala. cutting a frustrated figure is Kennedy Otieno. Oh, that's banged into the wall quite viciously by Mudifar. The 16 minutes remaining on the clock. Had a good game today. Mohamed Karim in the heart of that defense alongside Abdul Omar. They've worked extremely hard in keeping things organized defensively. Men down here. I do believe it's Mudifar that is struggling. In fact, finally, the goal scorer, the man on the pace looking for a hat-trick. Wondering if he'll be the first to get a hat-trick in this year's tournament. Clash of knees. Well, 15 minutes, and his team will really shake up the group here for Ahmad Jambe. If they could just score their third goal, it would make life easier going into the last 10 or so minutes of this game. Kennedy Otieno, well, mentioned, speaking to Marks before this game, that he was happy his side scored 2 goals. They were the only side to have scored 2 goals until this match got underway. Now it's they and Comoros that have scored the highest number of goals in one match, that being 2. Now, pull over the top here, chase on. Orange by Omondi.
First touch was too heavy with the forehead there. And it was always going to be a keeper's ball, but Kasim knew what he needed to do.
Well, it's Kasim again, who's missed the mark this time and trying to find his teammates. Kenya pushing forward here. Nice run from the middle of the park from Crispin Otieno. He's had a very good showing. Amondi did well to keep it alive here. Sadad's quick to win it back. Driving forward is Karim. Safety for Mondi. Approaching the last 10. Could be a problem as the turn shot comes in. And that's certainly looking to be a problem as the man is coming off the bench here, Sadat. He's been a live wire since coming on here. Nice outlet for the side, and the angle was a testing one, but still didn't miss by far. Although it need be said that Brian Omondi did look as though he had it covered. Well, many from a Kenyan point of view may very well be looking forward to what lies next for their side here, with just over 10 minutes remaining. They may be giving up on the cause here in as far as picking up 3 points in this match, and wondering what lies next. Well, can't tell you what lies next. May not paint a pretty picture in the task that lies ahead of them. Will be up against Zimbabwe in the last of the group matches, that being the Kenyans here in Group C. Match will be played right here at the Isaac Wolfson Stadium, out at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. Comoros will play Zambia Tuesday. Atieno. Good work to keep it moving by Atieno. Still finding very little to no penetration on the Kenyans as they, well, find some good movement on that far side. The cutback to try and put the 1-2 into effect. Cut out impressively by Haslani at the expense of a corner. 10 minutes remaining on the clock. Swinging corner, out of them the near post. Initially, then on the edge of the box by Karim. Good position, good ball to that far side. Now, Kenya with just 2 inside the box. Good touch, ball crosses. An interesting looking one then. It was dealt with again impressively in the out of that defense, this time by Omar. Kenya still driving forward, ball across. Splits between the goalkeeper and Ochieng. And a moment when it was important for Omar to get a foot there and get it clear. Out. We'll be expecting the numbers in the stands to swell up somewhat as we move in towards the afternoon kickoff, the late afternoon kickoff, that being Zambia and Zimbabwe. Three o'clock the kickoff for that match. There you have a confirmation of that game that promises so much in the talent that's on offer from both nations, their history in the Hollywood-based COSAFA Cup, including what's going on here in Group B. And all we're looking to put their best foot forward.
Speaking of best foot forward, I think Zambia will be under pressure now to say we need to register 3 points in this group. That can be very interesting because now they will all be on 3 points.
Well, it could be very interesting, yes. And we could have that scenario. Currently, everyone in Group A is on 2 points. Now, Comoros still looking for their 3rd ball in. Wow, there's a chance needed to make himself big. Omondi then in denying them. Another look at goal. Good footwork. And a set piece just outside the box on this near side.
He wanted to go down. Did you see how he twisted his body? When you say you are deliberately falling, that was a deliberate fall.
Great save here.
In fact, it hit him on the midriff when he's got his body wide. But look at that.
His arm.
Oh, he just opened his body. Beg your pardon. But that, that foul, it's like I want it badly.
So, here comes close. COMOROS so close to scoring a third on a number of occasions here in the second half. They could have scored 4 or 5 in the second half. And he wants to get in amongst the scorers, that's for sure. As I said that. And the 5 minutes remaining on the clock. This group just keeps us guessing every step of the way. Well, that shot's a tame one. No worries for Azimati. And when you're leading by 2 with under 5 remaining, you won't be in a hurry to get the ball started once again. Mudafa. Now. They are running out of time. The Kenyans yet. Being careful not to be over eager in committing numbers forward in fear of a COMOROS counter attack, but at some point they'll have to take chances here. Man plays here on the near side. Shots. Not going to cause any problems then for Azimati. So changes being made, a couple of them. It's the Kenyans to make them. Patrick Atieno makes way for Emoni. Tibet comes on for Wanjana. Once again, COMOROS not in a hurry to get the ball or the game restarted here. Taking as long as is legally possible is Azimati. Now, chase on.
It's good.
Frustration for your money. Just what happened for them. Plays for FC Talanta. There's Imoni. And coming on here for the Seychelles. Abdel Nuru. Plays for Etuela to center. Well, it's Kasim was had a very good game here, been involved in a lot of what's been positive about the Comoros right from the early stages. He was the first man to have a shot in anger that went just wide of the mark and set the bar high in the early stages. The rest followed, and well, the rest is history. Anyone would say? Now, they've been hurrying out. Last seconds of the 90, waiting for the signal on how much time will be added on here for the Kenyans. Otieno, to their credit, they really did try, even with the man sent off to turn things around. It just hasn't happened for them. Nice little turn in the middle of the park. Good pressure applied by Sadat. 4 minutes added on here. The pace of trying to get to the byline, and that's where the men from the Comoros have shined here. Moments when they've needed to work for each other. They've done so superbly well. That's 1-1 on the near post. Now, Kenya again looking to come in on that far side. They've again got themselves into a menacing position, just didn't pull the trigger. Did Atieno. Otieno. Yango giving away possession, then losing momentum as we look at how the group shapes up with the events that have occurred here this match. Comoros are top of the group with Zimbabwe and Kenya as things stand, including Zambia. Big question is, will they be top of the group at the end of the day? Keep in mind the best second place team does qualify for a spot in the knockout stages, so even by just this win, and even if they don't finish in a good enough position to get the direct through, they may qualify still as the best second place team, so a lot to play for here. They have been entertained, hoping they've enjoyed watching this game. They won't enjoy it so much, the supporters from Kenya, with the way things have fared out there. Nice little flick on. First touch not good enough on the edge of the box, so Comoros able to clear. They will look to make one more change here just to continue to eat away at the time that remains. Under a minute and a half. Kenya still trying to pull one back. To their credit, they never really gave up in that regard. Anyway will do. Amondi. Now, good work on the near post. Anzimati. Change will be made. Yeah, that could be the very last attack of the game here from a Kenyan point of view. So it's going to be difficult to beat the keeper from that sort of angle for Austin Atieno. There you go. Change for Comoros, and it's Ali Madi Ali that will be coming on here. Defender who plays for Atomic Gome de Zucchini. That's in Comoros. Now, and maybe it, and is it, with Comoros doing the business here and shocking the Kenyans with a stunning performance. I found it with a couple of goals here, one from the spots, the second sealing the win against the 10 men of Kenya, but it's a well-rounded performance from Comoros all round here, where Anzimbati was needed to fit between the sticks. He came good. Defensively, they worked hard for one another. In the middle of the park, they caused problems for the Kenyans, and in all honesty, maybe should have won by a bigger margin. Kenya competed well. It's when they started to have the upper hand in the first half, when the red card and penalty happened, and they still could have found the back of the net in that first half after Chuoga was sent off. They tried to create chances, and the more they tried, the more chances they gave away to Comoros in the second half. As their supporters watched on here, it became clearer and clearer that it just wouldn't be the Kenyan day. At the end of it all, it's Comoros 2, Kenya no at full time. Well, Comoros here. That's one less shot on target. What a game of football it has been. They had the better numbers in this match, and all the cards shown were shown in the first half. Keep in mind, too, to Ochuoga, who then walked after giving away the penalty. Only Astani from the Comoros picked up a yellow card, but what a performance. And while they certainly impressed as they had the beating of Kenya. Comoros now top of the group. Zimbabwe up against Zambia next. Zimbabwe, of course, keep in mind, have already won a match against the Comoros earlier. Zambia now will be in desperate need for a win. That's something to look forward to, kicking off at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, man of the match, and to give that award to the man of the match, that's Patrick Mayo. Patrick, do the honors, please.
Thank you.
Afani, good game today. Opening game, it was just tough. Congratulations.
Donc le premier match était dur et aujourd'hui une victoire avec un jeu du match. Alors comment ça se passe un peu?
On a tout donné pour changer les choses parce que le premier match c'était difficile, même si il y a des erreurs qu'on a rectifiées. Donc le plus important c'est les 3 points. Alhamdulillah, on a décroché les 3 points.
So today the most important was to win the 3 points. For the first game it was difficult. We tried to avoid the same errors, and it finally pays today. I'm very happy to win this distinction today.
And you also look very comfortable up front. You were creating chances for each other. Today, you look more like you could have scored more.
Donc, même aujourd'hui, vous avez eu plusieurs occasions. Vous étiez très confiant. Vous auriez pu même scorer plus.
C'est bien normal parce que notre coach, il a tout donné pour nous. Il a tout donné. Il a nous donné de confiance pour changer les choses parce que tout le temps ça se répète. Notre coach a nous donné beaucoup de confiance. Nous aussi, c'est l'objectif de changer les choses. On est fiers.
So we are very proud today. Our coach did a great work because he told us to trust in ourselves. We have communicated a lot, and he always told us to trust in ourselves, in our forces, and today it pays again.
Congratulations and thank you very much. As you go out that way. And I'll be joined by your coach because we're talking to the Kenyan coach, Mr. Otieno. Things didn't go according to plan today.
I think it was double tragedy. Penalty, red card, so that is when we lost the game. And then the other thing, you could see we were disjointed after the red card. these young boys, most of them didn't know what to do next. I think it's a learning process, and I believe come Sunday we'll have rectified the mistakes that we did today.
Interesting you say that. I referred back to your game where you got a penalty and also they got a red card and you looked strong. And today for me was, I want to see when the shoe is on the other foot, how you react. What was the idea of reacting towards that? Being a man down?
I think we were, what we did was we were always in a rush. We were to be calm, composed, and then maintain the shape. That we did not do because you could see Comoros got numerous chances. And also, in front of goal, we had some chances, like in the first half, clear chance. I think if we would have been clinical enough, we would have gotten a goal in the first half, and then the second half would have been different.
Glad you talked about that. In the last, 7 minutes of the first half, you could have scored 3. And it was just too hurry in the box.
That's why I'm saying it's all about being clinical in front of goal. If you get a chance, just bury it. If you don't bury it, then you'll be punished. So I think when we approached this game, we knew it is not going to be an easy game. But considering the opponents we played today and the previous opponents, I think the previous opponents were much better than today's opponents. But it's football.
And finally, your last opponents will even make it difficult because it's the last game of the group stages.
Yeah, I know. You cannot underrate any team in this tournament. So we just go back to the drawing board, and then the last game we try get a win and then progress to the semi-finals.
Unlucky today, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'll also be joined by the coach from Comoros, the winning coach today. And Coach, it's a game that you really started well. You spoke about how good your players are, and they showed us that they have the other side than what we saw in the first game.
Donc tu avais dit avant le début que tu étais ici pour faire un résultat au début du match et on a pu voir que toute la qualité de ton équipe. Comment tu expliques ça?
Non, on est venu pour essayer d'avoir un plan de jeu, de bien jouer au ballon. Et après, bon, on a eu la réussite, mais bon, surtout de faire avec beaucoup de rigueur, de bien coulisser et d'essayer de jouer entre les lignes parce qu'on a bien analysé pendant 2 ou 3 jours. On a eu le temps de bien réfléchir, de bien voir les adversaires. C'est pas comme les Zimbabwe, on partait dans l'inconnu. Et là, franchement, bon, ça a marché aujourd'hui, mais il faut pas s'enflammer, il faut continuer. Il reste un match, il faut rester concentré.
So, like I said previously, we did a lot of match analysis. We got enough time to do it, and we were well prepared today. But we say that we must not be overconfident for the last match. We played against Zimbabwe, we committed some errors, and today we tried to avoid those errors. And I think that my players did understand all what we said. We did a nice game, passed the ball, we got the possession, and that's most important today.
Are you going to now be talking to them about the missed chances? Could have been 4 or 5. Those are the areas that you need to be looking at.
Donc tu aurais pu gagner 4 ou 5 buts aujourd'hui avec toutes ces occasions. Vous pensez que vous allez travailler dans ce secteur, concrétiser plus ces occasions?
Non, c'est surtout travailler dans le secteur, tout ce qui est défensif et tout, le replacement, le déplacement. Mais après, bon, aujourd'hui on a eu la réussite et ces occasions-là, on les a eu aujourd'hui, 4 ou 5 occasions, mais la prochaine match, peut-être on va avoir qu'une occasion, il faut la mettre au fond. Parce que c'est vrai, on aurait pu gagner 5-0, mais voilà quoi.
Yeah, so we were successful today, but for sure we could have won 4 or 5-0. No, for the next match, I think we will work on our defense. It's most important for me.
Coach, thank you very much, and good luck in your next match.
Okay. Yes.
Well, you heard from the 2 coaches, and in fact, the 2 coaches have a lot to say about today's game, but interest in this game can humble you, because if you can recall, Kenya came here as favorites after scoring the 2 goals in the game against Zambia. But here we are, we're sitting in a situation where this group, depending on this last game, can be all 3 points, just like Group A that we saw yesterday. So that's it from this first match. Remember, coming up, it's Zimbabwe against Zambia. That's a game to watch.